Welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at some exciting Roosevelt dimes that many collectors overlook, but a few rare varieties and high-grade examples can be worth surprising money. The 1975 dime is famous because number 1975 proof dime with an S mint mark is known to exist except one extremely rare example that became legendary in the coin world. While regular circulation 1975 dimes are common, high-grade pieces with strong luster, clean surfaces, and sharp strikes can still bring premium prices at auctions because collectors love finding well-preserved examples from this era. The 1975 one dime coin carries a unique place in United States numismatic history because it belongs to a year in which no Roosevelt dimes were officially minted for public circulation with the 1975 date. The United States mint struck dimes at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities in almost every year. But in 1975, something unusual occurred. Instead of producing regular business strike dimes with the date 1975, the mint's output for circulating coins focused mainly on cents, nickels, quarter dollars, half dollars, and dollars, while production of dimes for circulation was heavily influenced by the transition towards a bicentennial coin program. This major national minting shift resulted in an extremely rare situation. No regular 1975 dated dimes were released into circulation. For collectors around the world, this created decades of curiosity, rumors, excitement, and confusion about whether a genuine 1975 circulation strike dime ever existed. Most people only know the ordinary Roosevelt dime as a common pocket coin, yet the 1975 dime in its full historical context tells a much deeper story about minting technology, national commemorations, and a legendary numismatic era that became world famous. Although number 1975 business strike dimes were made, the United States Mint did produce special proof coins for collectors. These proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint and carried the S mint mark. Proof coins are not made for daily use, but rather for collectors who want highly polished coins with mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. During 1975, the Mint used advanced polishing techniques to produce sharp details on Roosevelt's portrait, as well as crisp lettering and strong contrast. When people refer to the 1975 dime, they are usually referring to this proof version, which was included in the official 1975 proof set. It was not meant to circulate, so every authentic 1975 dime with an S mark should appear with a flawless surface, unless it's been mishandled. These proof dimes are generally affordable because they were produced specifically for collectors, and tens of thousands of sets were sold. The real story lies not in the standard proof version, but in the extraordinary accidental variety that became one of the most valuable modern American coins ever discovered. In 1975, the Mint prepared special proof dies for the 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, bicentennial half dollar, and bicentennial quarter dollar. All three of these bicentennial coins were designed to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, and each carried the dual date 1776 to 1976. The San Francisco Mint assembled the dies and prepared the proof production lines to begin striking special collector sets that would feature these bicentennial designs. During the process of die preparation, something unusual happened. Two proof dimes were struck not with the correct 1975 obverse die, but with an unfinished prototype die created for testing. This prototype die lacked the required mint mark. In 1975, the San Francisco Mint included the S mint mark on all proof coins, and every authentic proof from that year must show it. The absence of that mint mark turned those two coins into an extreme rarity because they were never supposed to exist, never intended for release, and never authorized to leave the mint. These two coins became known as the 1975 No S Roosevelt dime. Only two specimens have ever been confirmed, and they were discovered inside sealed collector proof sets, creating massive shock among numismatists. Because the minting of proof coins is done with strict quality control and close supervision, the release of any proof error is highly uncommon. The accidental escape of two such pieces became one of the greatest minting mistakes in United States history. The first known example surfaced at an auction and immediately generated global attention because no collectors had ever seen or heard of a 1975 dime missing its mint mark. As numismatic research deepened, experts confirmed that only two legitimate examples had ever reached collectors, and both were struck using the same proof die pair. For collectors, this made the 1975 newest dime of the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The dime became associated with Roosevelt as a tribute to his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes health campaign. On the coin's obverse, the portrait is sharp, with the word Liberty positioned along the left side and the motto, "In God We Trust," below the chin, accompanied by the date 1975 on the lower right. On the reverse, a torch symbolizing liberty stands at the center, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. This combination represents America's values and endurance. The phrase "e pluribus unum" stretches across the design, indicating unity among the states. The word. Collectors often study the smallest details when examining 1975 proof dimes. They look at the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the lettering, the strength of the torch lines, and the smoothness of the fields. High-grade proofs are expected to show no marks or haze, and grading services carefully evaluate these coins under magnification. The newest variety is inspected with even greater scrutiny to confirm authenticity and eliminate the possibility of alteration. Because mint marks on proof coins are an integral part of the die itself, a missing mint mark cannot result from wear, damage, polishing, or chemical treatment. This is why authentication of the 1975 newest dime is in unopened proof sets. Some collectors continue to purchase sealed 1975 proof sets in hopes of discovering another specimen, yet no new finds have been authenticated. The small number released, the strict control of proof production, and the careful examination by experts have made it almost certain that only 2 genuine pieces are in private hands. Both coins are held by collectors who understand their importance, and whenever one appears at auction, it becomes a headline-making event in the numismatic world. The legacy of the 1975 dime is therefore a blend of rarity, mystery, historical significance, and collector excitement. It shows how even the smallest coin can carry a massive story, spanning minting technology, national celebration, human oversight, and the thrill of discovery. It teaches that in the world of coin collecting, the unexpected is always possible, and a single tiny coin can become one of the most valuable modern treasures ever produced. The 1975 dime, especially its newest variety, remains a symbol of how a routine proof production year turned into one of the most fascinating chapters in United States minting history, inspiring collectors for generations and ensuring that its legend will never fade from numismatic memory. The 1997 P1 dime represents an important piece of modern United States coinage because it belongs to the long-running Roosevelt dime series, a series that Americans carry in their pockets every day, yet often overlook despite its history, symbolism, and the small design details that change subtly over different years. The 1997 dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the small P mint mark on the obverse, and it reflects not just the monetary system of the time, but also the precision and consistency of late 20th century American coin production. To understand the 1997 P dime in its fullest depth, one must look at its origins, minting process, design evolution, mintage levels, collector demand, condition rarity, era varieties, and the role it plays in both everyday commerce and in modern numismatics. Even though it is a common circulating coin, the 1997 P dime has a deep story that connects it to decades of history and millions of daily transactions, and it shows how even a small copper-nickel coin can carry layers of meaning when examined closely. The dime has carried the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt since 1946 as a tribute to the president who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II. The one dime coin became associated with Roosevelt because of his connection to the March of Dimes polio campaign, which inspired the government to select his portrait after his passing. By the time the 1997 P dime was produced, the design had already been in use for more than 50 years, making it a familiar and iconic piece of American currency. The portrait of Roosevelt shows him facing left, with strong features that symbolize determination and leadership, and the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year 1997 appear around the profile. The small P mint mark is located near the base of Roosevelt's neck, and this mark identifies the Philadelphia Mint as a production site. Although mint marks have been used for over a century, the Philadelphia Mint only began placing a P on dimes beginning in 1980. making the 1997 p dime part of the modern era in which mint marks became standard. The Philadelphia Mint produced an extremely large number of 1997 p dimes, as the demand for small denomination coins in circulation remained strong. The late 1990s saw steady economic activity, and coins were widely used in vending machines, parking meters, payphones, and countless retail transactions. As a result, millions of 1997 p dimes entered circulation across the United States. The sheer scale of production shows how advanced and efficient the mint's machinery had become. High-speed presses struck planchets at incredible speeds, applying precise pressure to create sharp images and clear lettering on each dime. Even though the coin is small, the detail on the torch, olive branch, oak branch, and lettering required careful die preparation to ensure consistent quality. Each dime had to meet strict weight and size standards, as even minor variations could cause problems in automated machines. The coin weighs 2.268 grams and is composed of a copper core clad between layers of copper-nickel alloy, which give the coin its silver-gray color and durability. This clad composition had been in use since 1965, replacing the 90% silver dimes of earlier decades, and by 1997 Americans were fully accustomed to copper-nickel dimes in their daily lives. On the reverse of the 1997 p dime, the central image is a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on one side, symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the other representing strength and independence. Together, these three symbols express the idea that the United States values freedom but seeks to protect it with strength while maintaining peace as a guiding principle. The inscription E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, runs horizontally across the lower portion of the design, emphasizing unity among the states. This combination of symbolic imagery makes the dime a compact piece of American philosophy. Even though the design appears simple at first glance, the artist's intention was to leave ghost-like images on the coin surfaces. Dimes with die cracks, die chips, or filled dies can also be found among 1997 p coins, giving collectors minor varieties worth identifying. One of the most interesting error types comes from the misaligned die strike, where one die is slightly out of place, creating uneven rims. Although these errors are generally minor, collectors enjoy searching for them in pocket change. Dramatic errors such as broad strikes, double strikes, or off-metal strikes are far rarer and can be worth considerably more. The existence of these errors highlights the mechanical complexity of the minting process and shows how minor adjustments in machinery can result in unique and collectible varieties. The everyday significance of the 1997 p dime is another important aspect of its story. During the late 1990s, society relied heavily on coins for everyday tasks. Payphones required coins to make calls. Parking meters often only accepted dimes or quarters, and vending machines were calibrated to recognize the precise dimensions and electromagnetic properties of clad coins. Because of this, the 1997 p dime played a role in millions of small but essential interactions. It passed through countless hands, traveled through cash registers, fell into pockets and purses, and facilitated the functioning of public conveniences. These humble transactions illustrate the purpose of. These small distinctions interest specialists who study die varieties, looking for markers that identify specific production batches. Such research helps catalog the many tiny differences in modern coinage and reveals the complexity behind what appears to be a simple mass-produced object. The physical durability of the 1997 p dime also deserves attention. Copper-nickel clad coins are designed to withstand decades of wear, and many 1997 p dimes still circulate today, often indistinguishable from dimes minted more recently. The metal's resistance to corrosion and appeal entered grading holders and became part of competitive registry sets. These sets encourage collectors to assemble the finest possible examples of each date and mint mark, pushing demand for the story of its year. It reflects a period when the United States economy was strong, digital communication was expanding, and society was transitioning from older mechanical systems to emerging technologies. Yet despite all these advancements, physical coins continue to serve a vital function. The dime passed through gas stations, arcades, stores, restaurants, and countless small exchanges that knit together the fabric of everyday life. Each coin, regardless of how many hands it passed through, played a part in the functioning of society. The 1997 P dime therefore stands as more than just a 10-cent piece. It is a tiny artifact of American history. It embodies design tradition, industrial precision, economic activity, and the simple practicality that coins bring to daily routines. For collectors, it provides opportunities to study minting techniques, search for high-grade examples, and explore the fascinating world of modern varieties. For everyday people, it serves as a reliable tool that helped carry out countless transactions. And for the history of American coinage, it represents the strength and continuity of a design that has endured for generations. The 1981 D1 dime is a coin that belongs to the long-running Roosevelt dime series, a series that has been in constant production since 1946 and stands as one of the most familiar small-denomination coins in the United States. The 1981 D dime carries the Denver Mint mark, represented by the small letter D placed on the obverse side of the coin near the date. Although millions of these coins were struck, collectors remain interested in the 1981 D dime because it belongs to an era when the U.S. Mint was refining modern minting technology, adjusting metal compositions from the previous decades, and producing coins that still maintain strong historical and economic significance. The coin is small in size, lightweight in hand, and designed for everyday use. Yet its background, origin, composition, design, and collectible value tell a much deeper story that extends beyond its face value of 10 cents. The coin is made from the standard clad composition that the U.S. Mint adopted in the mid-1960s after the removal of silver from most circulating denominations. The structure consists of an outer layer of copper-nickel alloy bonded to a pure copper core. This clad metal mixture gives the dime its pale silver appearance while keeping production costs low. The edge of the coin features reeding, a pattern of small vertical grooves that helps prevent counterfeiting and clipping. Even though the 1981 D dime is not made of silver, its durability, uniformity, and metallic appearance allowed it to remain a trusted coin for commerce for decades. The coin weighs approximately 2.27 grams and has a diameter of around 17.9 millimeters, dimensions that have been used consistently since the redesign of U.S. coinage earlier in the 20th century. These small measurements make the dime one of the smallest circulating coins in the modern United States monetary system. On the obverse of the coin appears a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who served during a time of global conflict and economic recovery. Roosevelt's leadership during World War II and his efforts in initiating the March of Dimes charity campaign in the 1930s led to his inclusion on the dime after his death in 1945. The portrait on the 1981 D dime is crisp, modern, and refined compared to earlier coinage portraits, with sharply defined hair details and smooth facial contours. The inscriptions include the word liberty appearing to the left of the portrait, the national motto I in God, we trust positioned beneath Roosevelt's chin, and the date 1981 placed on the right side. The designer's initials J.S., representing John Sinek, the original sculptor of the Roosevelt dime design, appear near the truncation of the neck. The mint mark D appears near the date to indicate the Denver Mint's production. The reverse side of the 1981 D dime carries a design that symbolizes peace, strength, and unity. At the center stands a flaming torch, representing liberty and enlightenment. To the left side of the torch is an olive branch symbolizing peace, while on the right side appears an oak branch, representing strength and achievement. Together, these three elements illustrate a balanced message of strong leadership guided by peaceful principles. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and one dime at the bottom. The phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, appears across the bottom of the central design. The arrangement is compact and elegant, reflecting the collected ideals of the nation. The Denver Mint produced a large number of 1981 D dimes for regular circulation, and this high mintage makes the coin common in worn condition even today. Billions of dimes from the 1980s remain in pocket change, vending machines, cash drawers, and coin rolls. Because of this high mintage, circulated examples are generally considered abundant and hold mainly face value in everyday conditions. However, what makes the 1981 D dime interesting to collectors is not rarity in circulation, but rather the pursuit of high-grade mint-state examples that display full striking quality, sharp details, and strong luster. Modern clad coins are difficult to find in high-end mint condition because daily handling, machine counting, bagging, transporting, and rolling often cause small marks and abrasions on freshly minted coins. This makes pristine examples more desirable among collectors who seek perfectly preserved dimes. Mint state grades such as copper-nickel clad alloy as a durable and long-lasting material. The Roosevelt dime series is still active and remains an important part of daily commerce. The presence of coins like the 1981 D dime in circulation helps maintain economic continuity. People use dimes for vending, parking, public transportation systems, retail transactions, and banking. The small denomination still plays a significant role in the physical currency system, especially in places where coins are more practical than digital transactions. The 1981 D dime, like many coins from its era, serves as a silent witness to decades of everyday American life, passing through countless hands and participating in thousands of transactions. Collectors often store 1981 D dimes in albums, rolls, or certified holders. When properly preserved, the clad metal remains stable and resists corrosion. Proper storage involves maintaining a controlled environment with low humidity and minimal efforts against polio and its connection to the March of Dimes Foundation. Many people who collect Roosevelt dimes appreciate this connection and value the coin not only for its metal and age, but also for the historical meaning behind the portrait. The 1981 D dime continues that legacy, serving as a reminder of Roosevelt's leadership and the charitable movement associated with his memory. In the numismatic world, even common coins like the 1981 D dime play an important role because they create accessible entry points for new collectors. Young collectors often begin by searching pocket change, gathering coins from different dates and mint marks. The 1981 D dime becomes part of their early collections, teaching them how to observe mint details, evaluate condition, and understand mint mark varieties. The coin acts as a bridge between everyday currency and the more advanced world of collector-grade numismatics. Even if the coin is abundant, its presence in circulation and in collections contributes to the broader heritage of American coin collecting. Overall, the 1981 D1 dime is a small yet meaningful piece of American monetary history. Its design honors a respected historical figure. Its composition reflects modern U.S. minting practices, and its widespread circulation shows its importance in daily transactions. Although common in worn condition, high-grade mint state examples and era varieties remain desirable among collectors. The coin's durability and continued presence in everyday commerce demonstrate the lasting impact of the Roosevelt dime series. Whether found in pocket change, stored in albums, saved in coin jars, or preserved in protective holders, the 1981 D dime carries the story of a nation, its economy, its leaders, and its coinage traditions through the decades. The 1987 D1 dime is a small but historically meaningful part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, a coin that has represented American circulation coinage for many decades and continues to play an essential role in daily commerce. The 1987 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, a facility known for its massive yearly outputs and consistent production standards. This coin carries a familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, and the same design that has been used since the series first began in 1946. Even though it is a modern clad coin that circulates widely and is extremely common in everyday transactions, the 1987 D dime contains a depth of numismatic interest, from its design elements and metal composition to its historical context and collector appeal. Collectors study its details for strike quality, mint variations, and error possibilities, while the general public interacts with it daily, without realizing the rich background behind such a small piece of metal. The composition of the 1987 D dime is part of the copper-nickel clad structure that the United States Mint adopted in response to rising silver prices in the mid-1960s. This composition consists of an inner core of pure copper surrounded by outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin its silver-like appearance while keeping costs low. The clad material makes the coin durable, resistant to corrosion, and long-lasting in circulation. It weighs around 2.27 grams, making it one of the lightest coins in the U.S. monetary system, and measures approximately 17.9 millimeters in diameter. The reeded edge, containing numerous small vertical grooves, is an important security feature originally intended to prevent clipping and early forms of coin fraud. These physical characteristics ensure consistency across all Roosevelt dimes, including the 1987 D example, and make them immediately recognizable to anyone who handles American currency. The obverse of the 1987 D dime displays the familiar profile portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. The portrait includes detailed hair strands, a soft facial contour, and an expression that reflects determination and steadiness. Roosevelt's presence on the dime is tied to his historic impact on the nation during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his connection to the March of Dimes Foundation, which fought childhood polio in the United States. On the coin's obverse, the word liberty appears in prominent letters on the left side of the portrait. Just below the chin, the national motto "In God We Trust" is placed with precise spacing that aligns with the portrait's lower outline. The designer's initials JS, standing for John Sinek, appear below the neckline cut. To the right of the portrait is the year 1987, and just beside the date is the letter D, the mint mark indicating the Denver Mint. The obverse design balances artistic detail with modest simplicity, creating a dignified yet practical coin face. On the reverse of the coin, the central design features a torch symbolizing liberty and enlightenment. This torch is flanked by two plants, an olive branch on the left representing peace, and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength, endurance, and national resilience. This trio of symbols create a message of balanced national values, combining peaceful intentions with strong principles. Surrounding the design are inscriptions that include United States of America along the upper arc and one dime at the bottom. The Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, appears horizontally across the bottom portion of the central design near the base of the torch. The reverse is a compact composition where every detail, branch, flame, and curve is arranged with purpose, making the imagery both symbolic and aesthetically pleasing. The 1987 D dime had a high mintage, as the Denver Mint produced millions of these coins for the nation's circulation needs. Because of this large output, the coin is considered common in circulated grade and is still found easily in pocket change, cash registers, coin rolls from banks, and vending machines across the country. While circulated examples hold only face value, high-grade mint state examples carry more appeal for collectors. A mint state coin, often graded from MS-60 process. Although major errors are not common, collectors have identified off-center strikes, die cracks, die clashes, removed from circulation coins and replaced by efficient and cost-effective metal alloys. The Mint's efforts to improve quality control during this period can be observed in the overall consistency of the coin's appearance, strike, and durability. Although the 1987 D dime is considered a modern coin, it still plays a valuable role in the long-term continuity of U.S. currency. Coins from this era have been circulating for nearly 4 decades and continue to hold strong purchasing function. Dimes remain useful for small transactions, tolls, parking meters, laundry machines, and vending machines. Even though digital payments continue to rise, physical coins like the 1987 D dime still contribute to economic accessibility, especially in areas where coin-operated services remain common. The sheer number of these coins produced ensures that they will continue circulating for many more years, making the 1987 D dime an everyday companion in American monetary life. Collectors often store high-quality 1987 D dimes in coin holders, protective flips, or certified slabs issued by professional grading companies. These storage methods prevent physical wear, oxidation, and exposure to moisture or chemicals. While copper-nickel-clad coins do not tone as dramatically as older silver coins, they can still develop subtle coloration depending on environmental conditions. Such toning may appear as faint yellow, blue, or grayish shades across the coin surface, and can create visually appealing, unique pieces. Proper storage helps preserve luster and maintain the crispness of the design details. The design longevity of the Roosevelt dime is also an important part of its identity. The portrait and symbolic reverse have remained largely unchanged since 1946, making the series one of the most stable designs in health improvements and national unity in the 20th century. Even though the 1987 D dime is not rare, it still carries that symbolic emotional weight as part of a larger national story. Altogether, the 1987 D1 dime is more than just a small 10-cent piece. It represents a blend of historical meaning, practical use, artistic symbolism, economic necessity, and collector curiosity. The coin continues to circulate widely while also occupying a place in thousands of numismatic collections across the world. Its modern clad composition ensures longevity. Its familiar design connects generations. Its mint variations offer discovery opportunities, and its role in commerce remains important. Whether found in circulation, preserved in a collector's album, saved in a coin jar, or stored in a protective case, the 1987 D dime carries with it the legacy of Roosevelt's influence, the technological evolution of the U.S. Mint, and the enduring function of American coinage. It stands as a durable reminder of the nation's currency system and will likely continue to be recognized, used, and appreciated for many years to come.